In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, the alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, or praised besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. I'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters who extended us the greetings of Assalamu Alaikum. Minister Michael Shabazz from Gary, Indiana. Brother Abdul Ali from Tampa. Brother Minister Jasir Kabir from Virginia. Minister Michael Shabazz from Long Beach. And the Rafiq family. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum. Today we like to talk about the July 30th, 1971 Muhammad speech, and it's called Re-Educate the Black Man. The black man must unite with his God and people. Let's start with the messenger. And this is in the middle of the article. The messenger says the black man has never been taught the knowledge of self. Never been taught. And this is another thing that's different from today's Islam, because we don't never make it to seem like the messenger was the only one that taught us the truth. Like other people tried. Like Marcus Garvey tried. Prophet Noble Drew Ali tried. Booker T. Washington tried. But they didn't do it. They didn't have the keys.
Right.
The messenger had the keys.
That's right.
And Muslims are supposed to make that distinction. It ain't supposed to be black people feel like we all got the keys. You know, we all headed in the right direction. But the messenger says the black man has never been taught the knowledge of self. He is totally robbed. Robbing a man of the knowledge of self is the worst sin that could be committed on any human being. It is bad enough to treat an animal like that, but this is just what has happened to the once black slave. He says, so a re-education is a must.
That's right.
Now this the messenger too. Talking about re-educating the black man.
Yes, sir.
Because before the messenger, no other black group or black leader had anything to teach the black man. Nothing to teach the black man about a re-education. Every other black group just pretty much stayed to themselves. You know, we're going to go to church. We're going to go to our synagogues. We're going to go to our mosques. And whoever comes, just come.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really no effort to try to go out to the black man to teach him something until the messenger came.
That's right.
And then after the messenger came, that's when everybody wanted to start focusing on the black man.
Yeah.
But it was the messenger who said a re-education is a must. He says he cannot join onto his own black kind without the knowledge of his black kind. He must know the time and change that is now in the workings. He must know who has the power of this change of worlds. He cannot build a future with white people in his mind. It's the message. Say you can't even build a future with the white man in your mind.
That's right.
You gotta totally forget about the white man. All praise due to Allah.
That's right.
So if we totally forgetting about the white man, we gotta take some responsibility.
That's right. That's
Another thing these black leaders wasn't talking about.
That's right.
When they talking about civil rights, they not talking about taking on our responsibility to do for self.
Right.
They talking about begging the white man to do something for us.
That's right.
That's what civil rights is. And that's what black people's whole thing about fighting for justice meant. Begging the white man to help us do for ourselves do for us what we could do for ourselves.
That's right.
That's what they wanted. That's what civil rights was. But the messenger said we need to be re-educated.
Right.
We need to learn a new thing if that's what we trying to do.
Right.
Because we can't beg the white man.
That's right.
Because the white man world is falling.
That's right.
If all we know is to beg him, what happens when he ain't got nothing? And what we gonna do? We ain't gonna have all praise due to Allah. We ain't gonna have nothing either.
That's right.
So black groups wasn't talking that kind of talk until the messenger.
That's right.
And the messenger said in the message to the black man is the section called an economic blueprint. The messenger says before the black man can begin to gain economic security, he must be awakened from the dead and gain knowledge, understanding, and wisdom which will enable him to follow my teachings. Islam and only Islam will point the way out of the entanglement of want in the midst of plenty. For followers of Islam, the true religion of the black nation. It's the message. The only way we gonna get out, it's not just to open up a black business. That ain't doing for self. The messenger says you gotta gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that will enable you to follow his teachings.
That's right.
That's what he said.
Right.
Because doing for self ain't just getting a business. That ain't all it is to it. Getting business and getting money. You gotta clean yourself up too.
That's right. That's right.
All praise to Allah.
That's right.
You gotta stop smoking too.
That's right.
Gotta stop fornicating and lying and cheating and backbiting. You gotta stop doing that too.
Yep.
You gotta pray to the God.
That's right.
You gotta do that too.
Yes, sir.
You gotta come to the temple.
Right.
You gotta go out and get your brother and bring him to the temple.
right.
That is more than just getting the business
That's
with
right.
the economic blueprint. It's more than that.
Right.
But the messenger said that's how we gain economic independence. Is first we gotta learn or have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to follow his teachings. That's number one.
Yes, sir.
Now we're gonna look at, because when it comes to re-educating the black man, we never look at the effort that the messenger took in re-educating the black man. And we never look at how he revolutionized getting the dead. The messenger did. So we're gonna start with, this is the June 19, 1964 Muhammad speaks, and it says, our day is near at hand. This the messenger. Now, on page, this is page 7. The messenger got, this is a 70-year-old brother selling 200 Muhammad Speaks a issue.
Yes, sir.
$200. Because the messenger revolutionized
Yeah.
raising the dead
Yes, sir.
with this selling papers thing. We look at it now like you're just selling papers. But if you look at it from a historical perspective, when the messenger was alive and how he revolutionized papers, just like with the Pittsburgh Carrier. They had their paper for a long time before the messenger and the Muslims started selling their paper.
That's right.
And when the messenger had his article in the paper, he didn't even control the whole paper. He just had his little article in the paper, and he felt like that was important enough for brothers to get out on the corner and sell the paper.
That's right.
So they sales
That's right.
skyrocketed
That's right.
after the messenger had brothers sell these papers. They wasn't doing that before.
Right.
They didn't have nothing geared towards the black man to change his behaviors. Because we got a lot of people teaching a lot of stuff.
That's right.
But what is somebody teaching that'll change a man's behavior? Where other people will notice, like, after he started following him, he changed.
That's right. That's right.
Not just his clothes. Not just where he go. But his behaviors.
Right. Right.
The way he lived.
Right.
All praise due to Allah.
Right.
That was a messenger.
That's right.
Because once you start following the messenger, you had to change.
That's right.
Had to change the way you eat.
That's right.
Change the way you act.
That's right.
Change the way you think.
Yes, sir.
Change what you think important. You had to change all that.
That's right.
But in other black groups, you don't have to change that. You don't have to change that. But then with the messenger, you had to know that going out and getting the dead was important.
That's right.
Not just going home after you get out of the temple or go home at, no. You got to know that raising the dead is important.
Yes, sir.
Other black groups wasn't doing that. It was the messenger, because this brother's 70 years old. What most 70-year-old brothers doing that ain't Muslims? You know how long it take? Because the one thing that I respect now that I'm a Muslim, selling papers.
Yes, sir.
I used to see brothers selling papers. I didn't think too much of it. But if I see a brother selling papers, I got to stop and say something. Salam alaikum. I respect selling papers. All praise due to Allah. Selling. It's a whole new respect now.
That's right.
Selling papers.
That's right.
I don't care what camp you in. If you selling papers and I see you, I'm going to say something. Salam alaikum.
Yeah.
Check, trade one or something. I respect that.
Right.
See a brother selling papers.
Yes, sir.
You don't know the hell you catch selling papers, brother.
That's right. That's
The
right.
people you run into selling papers.
Right.
All walks of life.
Yep.
Crazy looking people.
That's right.
Brothers you looking at like, hey, he look like Ali. You know what I'm saying? But you, hey, you got ass.
You got it. Yes, sir.
Got ass.
That's right.
So you standing there trying to look like, see him coming like, man, I hope this brother all right, man. He don't look like he up to par.
All right.
But the one thing that I can say about selling papers, them be the ones who give you the most love. It's them brothers when you see them far away, like, man, here he come. Them be the brothers you be like, you have to, Muhammad speaks. Them be the brothers to get it.
Yeah.
All praise to Allah.
That's right.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it never fails.
That's right.
Most of the time, them brothers you look at and you feel like, man, he don't look like he'll get it. He don't look like he all got it together. Stand there, start talking to you like, wow. Brothers be wise. Brothers be smart. You can't judge a book by its cover.
That's right.
And that's the type of stuff you learn when you out there selling papers.
That's right.
And then once you be out there selling papers and you see your people, you start to grow a love for them that you wouldn't have loved. You wouldn't have sell papers.
That's right.
Telling you.
That's right.
Because once you start seeing all these different kind of people, you see the heart your people got
That's right.
when you selling papers.
That's right.
You wouldn't have did that if you were just going home at the temple.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be out there to really meet them, really see them, and see the condition they in and say, brother, here,
That's right. That's right.
take the paper.
That's right.
A lot of times you have brothers who don't even have it, but you know they'll get it if they had it. Like, man,
Right.
I ain't even got no money. Bro, just take it.
Yeah, right.
Just take it. You can have it. Sometimes people will give you $5 for one,
That's right.
$20 for
That's
one.
right.
One time I remember me and Brother Captain was going door to door. I saw this sister. She was coming out of the house. She was like running to the car that was parked in the street. So Muhammad speaks, you know, like trying to ask her.
Right.
She stopped. When she saw us, she stopped. It was like, y'all Muslims? She went back in the house, got $20. They gave us to give for the paper. For one paper, I'm like,
Yes, sir. That's right.
like, sister, these are only $1. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to give me $20. Because I don't be trying. I'll let them know, look,
Right.
paper $1. It's $1 donation. You ain't got to be, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to think that you got to. She was like, nah. She was like, my father was in prison. She was like, Muslims help my father.
All praise to
I was like, wow. All praise to Allah. I'm telling you. The kind of stuff you learn being out there selling papers. It's amazing.
It's right.
It's amazing. It's a grind too now. I don't want to make it seem like
Right.
it's all fun and games.
Right.
It's a grind.
Right.
But
Right.
it's something about the grind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you be selling papers.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, sometime I'll be getting off work. I'll be like, man, I don't think I'm going to be able. But it bothers you. I'm telling you. It bothers you. Your whole ride home, you be like, man, I could go out. You be wrestling with yourself the whole time knowing, and if you don't go and you could have went,
Yeah.
you don't feel right.
That's right.
Tell you.
That's right.
Don't feel right. You like, man, I could have went out. And then the day go by, you ain't do what you thought you was going to do, talking about you couldn't go out.
Right.
Telling you.
That's right.
Selling paper something else.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
praise due to Allah. And this is what the messenger came up with for us.
That's
To
right.
go out and get your people.
That's right.
Go out and get your people and sell old brothers. Then you also have in here, these were some 19-year-old brothers. Right here. This brother's name is it says this is the product which 19-year-old Harold Chansey and 17-year-old Stanley Johnson of New York set out to sell, and within 10 short days, they had sold more than 1,000 copies each to top their competitors. The young men stopped only because they ran out of papers. Praise to Allah. It's the message. It's the message, but we forget about that because we see all these other groups out here talking this talk.
Right.
Like these black Hebrew Israelites. Then you got these Pan-Africans and all these other people now out here in the streets now, making it confusing, and black people think we all the same. Mm-hmm. We all got the same message. Mm-hmm. But it was the messenger. 70-year-old brothers down to little 19. I saw a picture in the Muhammad Speaks. This junior FO, this brother was little. Mm-hmm. This brother had an overcoat on, had a hat on, and he was selling Muhammad Speaks. Knew he didn't look like he was Muhammad. He was putting it up in his face. Muhammad Speaks. Hey, do telling you, the messenger revolutionized getting the dead.
That's right.
That's what he did.
That's right.
He made it important for Muslims to go and get your brother and bring him to the temple.
That's right.
Nobody never did that. Because when you look at the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, the messenger didn't just have brothers selling papers. Mm-hmm. This is another Muhammad Speaks. This is the November 26, 1965 Muhammad Speaks. And this brother won a brand new car. And this was going on in the Muhammad Speaks for years. Brothers winning cars. I know when I first saw him, I'm like, dang. You know, that's inspiration because it's already like you got to fight yourself to go sometimes. But winning a car,
right.
That's a little
Right.
more push.
Right. Right.
Then you going to be in the paper. Everybody going to see you.
Yeah.
You get to go down to Chicago to the salon to get you some free food.
That's right.
Paying for your hotel, all that. Mm-hmm. Just to be the top Muhammad Speaks newspaper seller. That's what they was getting. Mm-hmm. That's how the messenger revolutionized going out getting the dead. Mm-hmm. Nobody doing that now. Mm-hmm. What you get now with this stuff for selling paper, people don't do that no more. Mm-hmm. This was the messenger. That's right. Who did that. That's right. Made it important for brothers to go out and get their brothers.
That's right.
But then don't nobody talk about that now. They make it seem like, it's just selling paper. But the messenger was the ones coming up with these different ideas. To influence, and this wasn't just for Muslims. Lost Founds could win the car too. Anybody could get you some papers and sell them. It was for anybody. It wasn't just for Muslims. Anybody could have won a car. This is how he had it. So the messenger also had. This is the September 2nd, 1966 Muhammad Speaks. And it says, university programs include reading Muhammad Speaks newspaper as one way of obtaining self-knowledge and self-discovery. These students attending class at the University of Massachusetts Upward Bound program assert the Muslim newspaper in enlightening, educational, and stimulating, offering a new view on the black man's position in America. This is something else that they don't talk about the messenger. Wanting to know your black history. The messenger is the one who started all of this black history. Because if you look at many of these black colleges, started in the 1800s, late 1860s, they didn't have black studies programs in these schools. They weren't teaching no knowledge of stuff. You were getting English, math, history, and all that. And you wasn't getting no black history. No history of your people. But you going to a historically black college. And we can read from, this is a book called The Philosophy and Opinion of Marcus Garvey. This was from his second wife. Her name was Amy Jacquees Garvey. And this introduction to this book was written by Tony Martin. This is what he said. He says, in death as in life, the story of Marcus Garvey and the philosophy and opinions continue to reflect the generality of black history in microcosms. The movement declined and the volumes went out of print. The man and his writings remain alive in the memories of many humble folks. For long dreary years, Mrs. Amy Jacquees Garvey stood almost alone against the near successful attempt in the halls of academia and in the large society in general to consign Garvey's memory to oblivion. So that's saying everybody forgot about Garvey. See, that's why you got to know the history.
Right.
People can rewrite the history with this oral stuff. Talking about the messenger copied from Marcus Garvey. But the history, people forgot about Garvey. Ain't nobody want to hear nothing about no Garvey. Nobody want to reprint his books or none of that. This is Garvey. This is the one who they talk so highly of, like he did all of this great stuff. But black people knew Garvey wasn't successful.
That's right.
Because the difference between Garvey and the messenger, Marcus Garvey's wife was trying to get people to remember Garvey because they forgot about him. She wanted to get his books reprinted. But with the messenger, his son tried to get people to forget about the messenger. Couldn't do it.
That's right.
Couldn't do it.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah.
Right.
That's the history.
Yes, sir.
He couldn't do it.
That's right.
She was trying for years, say long, dreary years, she was trying to get people to remember Garvey. They couldn't do it. All these black colleges, all these Pan-Africans they talk about, John Henry Clark and them, Dr. Ben,
Right.
why they wasn't helping her? Since Garvey was so successful. Marcus Garvey had what he called the Black Legion. Them was the brothers who Marcus Garvey had. They called them the Black Legion like we the FOI.
Right.
Black Legion. Where the Black Legion at today? Why they not keeping Marcus Garvey's ideas going forward? They had the sisters was the Black Cross nurses. Like you got the MGT. Where the Black Cross nurses at? If he was successful, why don't you try to implement his ideas? Them same ideas he had. But you know he wasn't successful.
That's right.
That's what you know. But let's continue on reading what happened. It says, she desired to reprint the volumes, but could not afford to do so. At least two small concerns essayed limited editions, but inquiries insufficient to have significant impact. Established publishers refused Miss Garvey's request to reissue the work. Then came the Black Power Revolution, and with it the unseemly haste of mainstream publishing houses to capitalize on the newfound interest in things black. By the late 1960s, 3 of the more substantial houses have competed editions in print. The late 60s, they had a newfound in things black. What happened with that?
Right.
Who started that? Because they forgot about Garvey.
Right.
It took her years to try to get people to remember. So how did they start remembering them? The Messenger had the Muhammad Speaks newspaper reading in these colleges. The Messenger had, this is another Muhammad Speaks newspaper. This is the November 1st, 1968. It says, Howard University's newsstand to feature Muhammad Speaks and Messenger's books. It says, apparently, in keeping the developing trend of black awareness, permission was granted recently for the opening of Muhammad Speaks sale stand on Howard University's campus. This is the Messenger.
Right.
The Messenger, you in C. Eric Lincoln's book, Black Muslims in America. Muslims in his class. That inspired him to write the book. It was Muslims in the class.
Yes, sir.
They had Malcolm X debated Bayard Rustin at Howard University in 1961. Then Muhammad Ali spoke at Howard University in 68. So this encouraged the black youth at the schools to want a black studies program.
Yes, sir.
So when you see at these campuses, because they used to have riots at them campuses during this black studies revolt and protest. So if you notice, they say black studies, not African studies, because that's what John Henry Clark and them was talking. All this Africa stuff. The Messenger was talking black.
Yes, sir.
All praise due to Allah.
Right.
That's the history.
Right.
The Messenger was talking black.
Right.
The Pan-Africans was talking that Africa stuff. But the students wanted a black studies program. They wasn't talking about that Africa stuff. Because John Henry Clark and them, they ain't had no jobs. with this Pan-African stuff because John Henry Clark, Umar Johnson, Dr. Ben, Chancellor Williams, and all of them are professors. That's what they are. So what was you doing before they had a Black Studies program? What was you doing? The messenger got you a job.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah.
That's right. That's right.
But instead of them showing love to the messenger, now they start talking about he copying from Garvey.
Right.
They forgot about Garvey.
That's right. Yeah.
You ain't even copying off Garvey. You copying off the messenger.
That's right.
So you copying off of.
Right.
We don't see no African Legion, no
Right.
Black Legion.
Right.
We don't see no Black Cross nurses.
Right.
We see you copying what the messenger said.
That's right.
That's what you doing. So that's how you got all of this Garvey stuff. That's how you got all of this Black Israelite stuff. Because them too, when you look at the history, we want to look at the history. We can look at this book. It's called The Encyclopedia of Muslim American History. It says, though the Muslim Journal and the Final Call, the paper The Nation of Islam group led by Louis Farrakhan, continue to serve as vital media for Muslim Americans. No Muslim American newspaper has ever matched the impact of Muhammad Speaks on American society and U.S. politics. Not on Black America, on American society and U.S. politics. All praise due to Allah. Because you have sciences that study human behavior.
That's right.
You got scientists that study that. Because the messenger said that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam.
Right.
You have what you call social science. They study human behavior. They study how people's behaviors change when certain things influence the society. They study that.
Yes, sir.
Scientists study that. Now, you got these brothers with Wallace and Farrakhan that oral talk stuff. They'll talk about him like he the Messiah. They'll talk about him like he been on the scene on the front lines for 60 years. But the science, the numbers don't lie.
Right.
They said even though, yeah, his stuff's still vital media, but no other newspaper. Messenger been gone 40 years. The scientists still looking at him like, nah,
Right.
you know, y'all newspapers might be vital media,
Right.
but no other newspaper.
Right.
He said affected American society or U.S. politics.
Yes, sir.
The Muhammad Speaks newspaper.
That's
And
right.
in this article, in this book, they got a whole page talking about the Muhammad Speaks. They know what the editor, who the editors was, what years they came, where they came from. Telling you,
Yeah.
white man keep good records.
Yes, he does.
They know who went from where
Right.
he go when he left the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, what changed about the paper,
Right.
when the paper started selling, how many it was selling, all that.
Right.
That's what they talking about.
Right.
They keep a record. They know who doing what.
That's
And
right.
they can tell from the paper how society has changed. Just if you look at the word Negro, you can see when that started changing. Because that changed American society. The white man couldn't even call us Negroes and colored people no more.
That's right.
That's the facts.
That's right.
Where was a black Hebrew? Where was these Israelites and all these other Pan-Africans and all of that?
Right.
Where was they at when these black colleges didn't have black studies? You wasn't in there trying to influence them kids to learn about their history. You just a professor. That's all you is. You ain't influencing no society. They wasn't changing the behaviors of people.
That's right.
You just want a job.
That's right.
That's all you want.
That's right.
So since the messenger competition for you, now he got you a job. Now you teaching. Now you in there talking about, oh, he copying Marcus Garvey. But the history don't lie.
That's right.
You can say what you want to say. But the history don't lie. Let's talk about these black Hebrews. This comes from the Wisconsin Jewish Chronicle. White man. Keep good records. They say they see us where we see them not.
Right.
That's prophecy.
Yeah.
He the devil.
That's right.
He know what you doing.
Right.
You might be faking it now with this oral history, but the white man see you.
Yeah, that's right.
It says, the title of this article is called Black Jews and Their Rabbi, A Story of New York's Harlem. It says, this is the story of the black Jews in New York and their rabbi. It says the story of a well-organized colored Jewish community living right in the heart of New York's Harlem district for over 15 years. So this article come out April 11, 1941. So they've been there for 15 years. That means since 1926. But this is the kicker. It says, despite the fact that there have been a few voluntary conversions to Judaism among the colored Christians, the black Jews do not go out looking for converts, says the rabbi. A Jew is a Jew if he is born a Jew. He born a Jew.
Right.
They ain't going out there trying to convert nobody.
Right.
They say if you born a Jew.
Right.
We don't go out there wasting no time with these niggas.
Right.
You born a Jew.
Right.
You got to show interest in Judaism.
That's right.
Now they call themselves black Hebrew Israelites. But at first, since 1926, they've been in New York. They say we don't go out there try to get them.
Right.
This is an article in New York because the messenger was in New York. This article is called Kosher Meat Sales Soar in the Black Neighborhood. Now, kosher is a Jewish term.
Right.
Kosher ain't even no Muslim term. Jewish people use kosher.
Right.
It says kosher meats are finding their way onto unlikely tables these days thanks to the black Muslims.
Okay.
It says demand for kosher meats is an old story in Flatbush and Forest Hills. But it's nothing new in Harlem. But it's something new in Harlem, Bedford-Stuyvesant, and other predominantly black communities. It says manufacturers of kosher meats provisions attribute soar sales in black neighborhoods, largely to Muhammad's Nation of Islam, which requires black Muslims to follow dietary laws similar to those of Jews. Brother Wayne, a spokesman of the black Muslim community in New York, said he would direct anyone who asks, Muslim or not, to the kosher products.
Yes,
Muslim
sir.
or not.
Right.
Anybody who asks.
Right.
Muslim or not.
Right.
It's the message.
Right.
Go out and get your brother.
That's right.
Muslim or not.
That's right.
These other groups wasn't doing that.
That's
He
right.
said, I'll tell anybody.
Right.
Direct them to them kosher meats.
Right. Right.
All praise due to Allah.
Right. That's right. Yes,
Then it
sir.
goes on to say, he added that Elijah Muhammad, the Muslim's messenger of Allah, has written a book, How to Eat to Live, which advises blacks to eat kosher meats.
That's right.
It advises blacks to eat kosher, not Muslims. It advises blacks to eat kosher meats. Now, this article, the white man, the Wisconsin Jewish Chronicle, he talking about these Jews, these black Jews had a well-organized colored Jewish community. Well-organized in Harlem. Since 1926. This article come out in 1971.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Why don't it say in this article that the black Jews told the brothers to go to the kosher spot?
Right. Right.
Why it's talking about the Muslims told them to do? Because the messenger is the one who taught black people or had us go out and get our dead brothers and sisters. It was the messenger.
That's right.
It wasn't nobody else.
That's right.
That's why in this article, when it's talking about kosher meats, the Muslims telling people to eat kosher meats, not nobody else. But they try to act like we all the same. We all know we ain't all the same.
That's right.
Then you got another article. It says, this is from the Philadelphia Inquirer, November 13, 1973. It says, Gentiles go kosher for better meat values. This person's name was Joseph Wolf. It says Wolf, who owns Foremost Kosher Sausage Company at 513 South 4th Street, says the area started changing about 15 years ago, meaning the white folks was moving out and the black folks was moving in. So then he says, we had a considerable decrease in business, he recalled, but now sales have increased to the point where we have more business than we have during the period of change. He says Wolf, who says he has always sold kosher meats to Gentiles, and Gentiles just mean non-Jews. That's what that means. It's Jews and Gentiles. So he says who says he has always sold kosher meats to Gentiles, estimates Gentiles make up about 50% of his clientele. And his business has another recent boost. Black Muslims are setting up stores all over the city, and they won't touch anything but kosher meats, he says. Because Muslims don't eat halal.
Right.
Muslims only eat kosher meats.
That's right.
But Muslims don't just eat kosher meats for yourself. You tell your brothers about the hog.
Right.
You tell your brothers and sisters about how dangerous the hog is.
Right.
About how the hog is a killer.
Right.
We don't eat hog.
Right.
We don't eat pork.
Right.
We don't just eat pork because we don't like pork like somebody might not like fried chicken. Or somebody might not like fried fish.
Right.
We don't like hog because it's divinely prohibited.
Right.
That's why we don't like. God don't like hog.
That's right.
That's what we say why we don't eat it. We don't say we don't eat it and don't touch it because it's a preference. It's because God don't like hog. All praise due to Allah. And this ain't what the messenger just taught Muslims. This is what he taught black people. And this is what everybody saw. And this is why they can say that the Muhammad Speaks newspaper changed American society. Because all black people started to change their eating habits based on what the messenger taught.
Right.
And we want to go a little further, brothers and sisters. This is another article called The Black Hebrews. Because we want to make a distinction between Muslims and everybody else. We don't want nobody to get the false impression like we all the same. This is Islam versus Christianity. This is the war of Armageddon.
Right.
This is what we in right now.
Right.
It gets cloudy because you got so many different groups. So you say which one to choose. We're going to make it simple. It's two choices.
Right.
It's Islam versus Christianity.
That's right.
Everything that's not Islam is Christianity. So it ain't just going to church. Church is a part of it, but it ain't the only thing.
Right.
If you drinking, you a Christian.
That's right.
If you smoking, you a Christian.
That's right.
If you fornicating and lying, you a Christian.
Right.
If you hate your brother, you a Christian. If you like eating hog, you a Christian.
That's right.
That's what the Christians do.
Right.
Christians eat hog. Muslims don't eat hog.
Right.
All praise due to Allah. Muslims love their brother.
That's right.
Muslims go out and get their brother.
Right.
Muslims do all they can to go out and get their brother. Christians don't do that. Christians don't go out and get their brother. When Christians, I remember being a Christian. And all Christians can relate. The pastor know when the football games and the basketball games coming on. And that's when they know they got to hurry up and let them brothers out early. They won't come the next time the football game come on. But in the temple, we don't care nothing about no football game.
Right.
The temple start at 2 o'clock every day, every Sunday.
Right.
It lasts for an hour every Sunday. You come if you want to come.
Right.
You don't come if you don't want to come.
Right.
But we're not going to tell our message of truth for no football game.
Right.
All praise to Allah. But they do that in Christianity. Because you smoking and drinking and fornicating and lying. They ain't got nothing important to tell you. That's why they can change the times.
Right.
That's why they can tell you a bunch of foolishness. This ain't like that.
Right.
We telling you truth.
Right.
We telling you something that can change your life.
Yes.
Right.
We telling you something that can help you. We telling you something, a message of love.
Right.
When you got a message of love, you will tell it anytime.
That's
It ain't no certain time.
Right.
We ain't going to interrupt our message for no foolishness.
Right.
We ain't going to do that.
Right.
The messenger didn't do it.
Right.
The messenger had 70-year-old brothers out selling 200 Muhammad Speaks newspaper.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's somebody who believe in his message.
Right.
That's somebody who the message changed their life.
Right.
Because it wasn't just brothers who was selling Muhammad Speaks newspapers that was clean and just always right. These was ex-hog eaters,
Right.
That's right.
ex-crooks,
Right.
Yes.
ex-criminals,
Right.
ex-liars,
That's right.
ex-Christians.
Yeah.
All praise to Allah.
Right.
What all of us are.
Right.
Yes.
We ex-Christians.
Right.
We ex-hog eaters. We didn't know the hog was bad.
That's right.
It's a love hog.
Right.
I was one of them. Love hog.
Right.
Love hog. Still see people eating hog like, wow, I remember back when I used to eat hog. I can't be acting all like, ooh, they eat pork.
Right.
Like, no, brother, you just don't know.
Right.
It's bad for you.
That's
It's
right.
divinely prohibited.
That's
Because
right.
once you know better, you do better.
That's right.
Because once I knew what the hog was, I couldn't believe it. I used to always wonder why I eat pig feet. My fingers used to get so sticky.
Right.
I never understood that. But I felt like, hey, that's just a pig's feet.
Right.
I didn't know it was the pus from the hog.
That's
Right.
right.
That the hog got a sewer vein.
Right.
That the sewer, all of the filth drained out of the sewer vein.
Yes.
But in Christianity, they ain't telling you that.
No.
They letting you eat the hog.
Right.
When they know for a fact the hog is divinely prohibited flesh.
Right.
That's why God said don't eat it. Because it ain't good for you.
Right.
Now, if all of this waste that the hog eats stays in them, what happens when you eat them? That's simple. Never heard that in church.
Right.
We used to eat hog in church.
Yes.
They used to cook the hog in church. Right in the church. Never told us nothing about the church. But if the basketball game about to come on,
Right.
we knew that.
Right.
I remember the preacher used to even talk and tell brothers what the score was sometimes. Sometimes the stuff used to run over. We used to have a guest preacher who might not know the Pistons about to play. So the pastor had to get up and like, oh, the Pistons up by 5 points. Them brothers are staying here. We ain't gained offering yet. That's how they used to do. But we don't do that.
Right.
Because we love our brothers.
Right.
And to let you know that our message is true is the way we have a search procedure before you come in. That lets you know that what we talking about is for real. Because to have a meeting where a person can't be drunk,
Right.
your mind got to be clear.
Right.
You got to be able to listen to truth and comprehend what you're hearing. Because time is at hand. We ain't here to waste time. We ain't here to just be talking. We're here to tell you something that's going to help you.
That's right.
So because we trying to help you, we want your mind to be clear. That's why we have a check procedure. It ain't because we just so uppity and acting all crazy. It is because we want to help our brothers and sisters.
Right.
And we got a message of truth. So we got to make sure, just like if you go into Canada, they got to make sure you don't have something in Canada that you're not supposed to have, because America and Canada is 2 different countries.
Right.
Canada is a country that don't allow certain things that America allows. Like in America, you can do a lot more filth and indecency than you can do in Canada. So if you have something in your pockets that you can't take to Canada, they want to let you know. We don't allow that here.
Right.
It's the same thing with the Nation of Islam. This is your nation. It's our nation. Lord praise you to Allah. A lot of the things that the white man has in his society, we don't have in our society.
Right.
Like drugs, alcohol, weapons. We don't have weapons here. You don't need a weapon here. You might need a weapon out there with the white man, but you don't need no weapon in here with your brother for what?
Right.
What you need a weapon for? Who you gonna hurt? We're not doing nothing but telling you the truth.
Right.
Right.
We're not telling you nothing that's gonna hurt you. We're telling you the truth. So you don't need a weapon here. You don't need alcohol here. For what? You don't need nothing to be high and drunk. This is something that's gonna help your life.
Right.
So you don't have to need that. So that's the purpose for the checking procedure.
Right.
But you among your brothers and sisters. And our subject for today is re-educate the black man.
Yeah.
Because we all need to be re-educated. Because we all been taught lies under Christianity.
Right.
Christianity is slavery, suffering, and death. That's what it is. That's why you can drink in Christianity. That's why you can fornicate in Christianity. That's why you can lie in Christianity. That's why you can eat hog in Christianity. Because it's slavery, suffering, and death. But we in the Nation of Islam must be re-educated.
Right.
Because sometimes you see, and I know a lot of misconceptions, because when I got married, I start to see how people notice being covered. Because I never, as a man, I never paid no attention to being covered and the reaction that people had. But when me and my wife anywhere, people looking at her like, wow, she covered up. People notice righteousness. In your heart, you know
Right.
that being covered up is better than being half naked.
Right.
You know that in your heart. You know that covering your hair and covering your body and covering your adornments is better. It's better. It ain't nothing disrespectful. Because I noticed too that when sisters see my wife and they see her covered, if they got on something short, they kind of start fixing their clothes. Because in their heart, she ain't saying nothing to them. She ain't saying nothing to them. They just see it. And black people righteous by nature.
Right.
You know you ain't supposed to be out there half naked. You know it.
That's right.
Ain't nobody got to tell you nothing.
Right.
But since the white man's society is so full of filth, you can blend in. But as soon as you see one sister out of all these other sisters half naked, when you see her, you pulling on your clothes.
Right.
Why? That's self-accusing spirit.
Right.
We all got that.
We got it.
But you know what is right and wrong. When we talk about the hog, you know hog is wrong. When people explain what the hog is, tell you that it's divinely prohibited flesh, it is rat, cat, and dog.
Right.
Somebody tell you that. You know you ain't supposed to eat no rat.
Right.
You know you ain't supposed to eat no cat or a dog.
Right.
When you eat the hog and there's pus all on it, and they tell you that the hog got sewer vein, you know I shouldn't eat that.
Right.
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 You know that. The white man don't know that. The white man is evil by nature.
That's right.
Don't make a difference to him. I read in the Muhammad Speaks one time, the messenger said, because he was talking about how the white man like to go out and kill and murder and hunt. He said the black man don't kill insects for fun. I was like, wow. Because I really don't.
No.
If they can live, only one is them flies. They about the only one. I'm killing the fly if I see a fly, because they be bothering me. But them other insects that'll run away, they run away. I won't bother.
Right.
They just leave me alone. But the fly seemed like he want to get all on your nerves. If he would just fly over there somewhere, I'll praise you to Allah. I wouldn't bother the fly.
Yeah.
But since the fly just won't leave you alone, I kill every fly I try to kill him. Every fly I see. But other insects you don't. Because the black man righteous body. I even noticed too. Being out driving on my job and we had a white boy trainers. When squirrels run across the street, black people kind of slow up a little bit.
Right.
Not them devils. I was with this one devil one time, and we driving and out in the country, rabbits and stuff run out. He like, I ain't slowing down for Jack. That's what he called him, Jack the rabbit. I ain't slowing down. But he said he'll slow down for a dog. But anything else, he ain't slowing down. I'm like, man, why you can't? You gotta do it, slow down. It ain't like you stopping, just slow down for him. Why you want to kill him? It's like, I ain't slowing down for Jack. And then another thing I noticed about being with white people. When we would be driving and people do the speed limit, he would call them do-gooders. Like, here go a do-gooder. Like, they look down on people who trying to do right. He just going the speed limit. Why you do-gooder? And then you notice that kind of stuff with them. That's different when you with the brother. The brother driving like how you slow down when you see the little stuff running in the street. People going to speed. If you want to go around, you go around. But he go a do-gooder, man. He going speed limit. White man. It's a difference. The white man's the devil.
That's right.
And all praise to Allah. And black people know that too.
Yeah.
You ain't got to keep on teaching hard on the white man, but you know the white man is the devil.
Right.
Even the good ones, they still kind of seem like I can't trust him. Because you know the history of the white man.
Right.
These white people right here, Christians. And the only reason why they ain't like that now is just the truth here. That's the only reason why they ain't still lynching us like that now. But they still do, the police officer. They just had an incident where this devil shot this 12-year-old brother through the fence. Through the fence. Because they act like, I was fearing for my life. He saw this little young brother in his own backyard. I think they was playing with a BB gun. He saw him through because his body cam was on. So he through the fence, shot this brother because it was like a little break in the fence, and he through the fence shot this brother. Just walked up and shot him. That's a devil.
That's right.
But when you see the white man, they had these mass murderers who done kill people. They bring them in,
That's right.
taking sisters, slamming them, all that kind of stuff. Sandra Bland for what? Not turning on her turn signal. That's the devil.
Right.
That's the devil, and you know he the devil. Just by the history of what white people have done to us.
Yeah.
You know they the devil.
Yeah.
You know that. With Jesus. We know Jesus ain't coming back.
Right.
We know that.
Yeah.
You just don't want to accept it.
Right.
Because when I first heard Jesus wasn't coming back, I wasn't all tripping. I just wanted somebody to explain that to me
Right.
so I can understand.
Right.
Because I kind of knew I ain't coming. I ain't expecting to see no Jesus coming back. You ain't waiting on no Jesus.
Right.
You know when you die, you ain't coming back.
Right.
You know it in your heart.
Right.
You just don't understand.
Yeah.
But once you understand that you live through your offspring, that make more sense.
Right.
All praise to Allah.
Right.
Because ain't nobody trying to die.
Right. Right.
Ain't nobody trying to come back. What if one of your dead loved ones did come back and talk to you? What you about to say to him? That's why all that Afrocentric stuff is nonsense. Sitting up here talking about you praying to the ancestors. That's what they say. Let's just say, for an example, that's for real. We pray to our ancestors. Marcus Garvey, as we were talking about him before, he our ancestors. Let's say we need help. You say, I'm tired of the devil. I'm going to pray to Marcus Garvey. The white man say, okay, you pray to Marcus Garvey, I'll pray to J. Edgar Hoover. What you going to do then? White man got ancestors too. We praying to our ancestors. What about what they tell you? I pray to mine too. You still ain't got no help.
Right.
Still ain't got no help. That's why you got to pray to Allah.
Right.
All praise to Allah. It's the only help you got. Because you know that ain't real. You praying to your ancestors. That don't even make no sense. What ancestors you know to pray to? All them ancestors that died. They couldn't even help themselves.
That's right.
For 6,000 years the white man been ruling. 6,000. Which one you going to call on? What name you going to say?
Right.
Who you gonna call on? Your uncle? Uncle ain't had nothing. What I'm calling on him for? Like, what ancestor you about to call on, brother? You know you ain't coming back.
Right.
You know ain't nothing nobody can do that can help you. You know that.
Right.
Don't make no sense.
No.
But in Christianity, It's that white man stuff.
Right.
He started talking about them saints. Oh, I remember one time, I shared this in school one time. I went to a Catholic school. We was sitting in the little prayer church part. And one of the girls said she saw the statue of Jesus move. That's what she said. We was like, I think I saw it too. So we told the teacher. And she was so convinced, like, I saw the Jesus move. So we had white teachers. She was sitting us down like, oh, you know Jesus. She didn't tell us, like, you ain't see that statue move. She was egging us on. Wanting us to pray. We was praying and they took that all day. We ain't go to no more class. Instead of her saying, like, you ain't say, how does statue move? What made it move? Did it blow? Did it move because it was falling? What you mean it moved? Because it could have moved. It could have been leaning. It could have been old. It could have almost fell over. What you mean when you say it moved?
Right.
But she trying to act like it moved like Jesus waving at us or something. That don't make no sense.
Right.
And the teacher knew that didn't make no sense, but she didn't try to tell us nothing. These dumb niggas. Yeah, it moved. Let's go pray. What we praying for? For it to stop moving? What we praying for? But that's how they get you in Christianity.
Right.
More foolishness on top of foolishness.
Right.
They ain't trying to teach the black man. They ain't trying to help the black man. But this is the war of Armageddon.
Right.
Islam versus Christianity. Because ain't no spookism in Islam.
That's right.
That's the one thing I love.
Right.
Saying do for yourself. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Look how long black people been in Detroit. Just take Detroit for example. Who helping us? Nobody. Whoever get out because they get out. It don't because nobody helping them. If we don't do for ourselves, what's going to happen? If we don't start loving our black brother, what's going to happen to us? It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. If we keep praying to Jesus, what's going to happen? What has happened since we've been praying to Jesus? The only time black people see some success is when they was following the message.
That's right.
They do a lot. The facts. So if we keep on praying to Jesus, we keep on waiting on Jesus, we keep eating hard, we keep acting like we not going to change what we've been doing, what's going to happen? Ain't nothing going to happen. We're going to stay in the same condition we've been in. That's why we need to be re-educated.
That's right.
We need to learn something new.
Yeah.
It got to be something different.
That's right.
It can't be us going the same way.
Right.
We got to eat something different.
Right.
Because obviously our health is bad.
Yeah.
They just had the brother who was with, what was the name of that group? After 7. Brother passed away at 65 years old. Then they had Mike Singleton. He just passed a week before that, 51 years old. Young brothers.
Yeah.
For what? They died. And after they die, people talk soon as say, hey, we got to change how we eat. We know what it is. We know brothers dying way too fast.
right.
65 ain't over.
That's right.
How you die at 65? Where you eat? Mike Singleton. Brothers who got money, but re-educated. If you got money, but you still living the same old Christian lifestyle, what difference do it make? If you move into a different neighborhood, but you still acting the same way, what difference do it make? We got to be re-educated.
Yeah.
That's right.
Have to be re-educated, because the worst thing the messenger said is to rob a man of the knowledge of self.
That's right.
The worst thing to do. Now, how pitiful it look like that we don't even know how to eat the right foods. And we grown. Grown people got to learn how to eat. Grown people got to learn how to dress. Grown people got to learn who their God is. We could feel ashamed like, oh, but that's the truth. We got to be re-educated.
Yeah.
Because what we doing is wrong. We headed in the wrong direction.
Right.
And we got to recognize who put us in this condition.
That's right.
We can't keep on acting like all we got to do is change our way. No, we got to recognize who put us in this wrong condition.
Right.
We got to recognize the fact we can't trust them no more.
That's right.
We got to recognize the fact we can't trust their information no more. We need new information.
Right.
All of that. A totally new thing. Totally new world. That's why the messenger said a new world is coming into play.
That's right.
We ain't using nothing from the white man's world.
Right.
And that's quite natural. I read another article. They was talking about 5G on your phone. They try to update your phone to 5G. But they were talking about scientists are against that. Because they were saying that the radiation that's coming off these phones affect the trees, affect the animals, affecting us. Who would have thought? A phone. Not just affecting you that's holding it, but the radiation that's coming off that phone. For all this high-speed internet stuff. Who would have thought of that? The devil. That's why we were talking the other day. What if he had 2,000 more years to go?
Yes, sir.
We would be in trouble.
Yes.
Because if you look at what this devil got now, how he killing everything, the food, the phones, the air,
Right.
everything.
Right.
You can't even eat the right foods. Because they have okayed them to clone even salmon. They could put hog in it.
Right.
Clone it with hog. All kind of stuff. They were talking about getting seeds from the devil. They put fertilizer in the seed.
Right.
It's like how you put fertilizer in the seed. So that means fertilizer growing with the plant. So you can be eating the tomato. But the fertilizer in the tomato.
That's right.
Ain't the devil.
That's right.
You can't even eat. Then they talk about the water system, the water supply, how old the water supply is. They talking about they didn't change them pipes since the early 1900s. That's the water we drink.
That's right.
Then the bottled water, they say the plastic in the bottle be leaking into the water that we drinking. It's like, so we understand that the white man's the devil.
That's right.
He the devil. When you just start talking about simple stuff, we ain't even got to get nothing real high tech. Just talk about everyday stuff. We know that the white man's the devil. And we know the black man's God.
Right.
Praise be to Allah.
Right. Yeah.
You know if God black, you know if God is something, he gotta be black. Gotta be black. He can't be white.
Right.
You know that. You know the devil is white,
Right.
but God gotta be black. You understand that too. Look at the nature of black people. Back in the day, I remember even when I was coming up, we used to could go to our neighbors to get eggs and stuff. I remember that. Go to your neighbor and get eggs. Even some of my neighbors who we knew didn't even really have nothing. We wanted an egg, like, hey, you got an egg there? Give us an egg, give us some butter, all that.
Right.
I remember that.
Right.
I remember speaking. We was talking the other day, brother. I miss speaking to people, man. I'm telling you, I miss saying hi.
Right. Right.
Telling you, I miss that. Saying hi to your neighbors.
Right.
Now you got neighbors, you just walk past them, don't even say nothing to them. I don't remember that growing up. My day, we said what's up to everybody. Hey, what's up, man? Now you say what's up to people, they keep going, look at you in your face, like, what's wrong with this? The white man's world.
That's right.
We need a change.
That's right. Praise
All praise due to Allah.
Yeah.
Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. I'll leave you as I came in the nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How you doing, sister? We happy to have you.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. We stand with our feet at a 45 and our hands outstretched. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live. The alone do we serve and the alone teach for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begat us not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none deserve to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.
God.